Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel, I'm sharing our journey of learning how to turn our home into a homestead. Today is going to be a bit of an unusual video. It's kind of like, well, as you can see from the title, I am predominantly a carnivore human being. I thoroughly enjoy meat, and I'm 39 years old, and I've never had tofu that I'm aware of. I have never intentionally done it, and in fact, I have gone to great lengths to avoid having it. So, the reason that I have decided to try it at my ripe old age is that I am toying with the idea of going more like vegan, vegetarian, like plant-based type for a time. I have been on a healing journey for a very long time, and I have just been struggling lately, probably the last year or two, with staying on plan and just finding what works well for me. I know that carnivore works very well for me. However, a carnivore / keto, like ketovore type thing. But I've been having a really hard time sticking with it, and I'm just trying to find something that can kind of be a bit more cleansing. And I'm going with I've been doing GAPS for a while. I haven't been really sticking to it very well, but I have been kind of following GAPS principles-ish lately. And according to her kind of principles of it, vegetables are much more cleansing and meat is more building. I am looking for more of the cleansing. So I'm figuring that I'm going to go, I'm not necessarily going to go completely vegan. I don't even know if I'm actually going to go through with this. I'm kind of toying with it. The reason that I'm toying with it and trying to kind of build up to it is that these things that are typically considered like vegan type things, I do not work well with my body whatsoever. The moment that I have carbs, my body just like expands. Like and it's not fat, obviously. It's just my body just doesn't react to it very well, and I get inflammation, and just it absorbs water. Sorry for the chickens chirping in the background. I should probably close that door. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I just hatched my first batch of chickens and I've got 3 of them in there, and they're just cute as can be. So I've got 3 in there, and I think I have like 5 or 6 more that might be hatching, but they're really very chirpy in there. So anyways, I am toying with the idea of we'll just call it more plant-based, because I'm not vegan. I don't believe in the long-term principles of it. If you do, that's cool. No beef with you whatsoever. Just for me personally, my body, my beliefs, I don't think that it is a long-term sustainable thing. But that is completely irrelevant. But I just wanted to try this out for, the summer, I would say. I have a huge garden out back filled with tons and tons of an abundance of foods, hopefully, if it actually produces. And so it seemed a perfect time for me to try it out to where it wouldn't be too terribly expensive. And so I'm open here, I'm getting my cast iron ready to clean. I have been trying to figure out how to cook with these things that I've never tried in my life. Coming up, I'm also going to try some natto and some tempeh, and I'm going to try all of those things, and I'm also going to try and make them from scratch at some point. So, but for now, I'm just going to try it. I don't have a clue if I like it. Obviously, it's tofu, it's very bland, and it's just going to taste like what I make it taste like. My plan for this is to go very basic, very simple, and I'm just gonna cook it in sauces, or I'm gonna cook it and then add sauces to it. My husband is a sauce junkie. I'm not typically. I like to cook with spices and things like that, and lots of broths, and just I tend to go that route. I don't want to cook with plant-based oils. Obviously, I'm not gonna try this with bone broth. So my kind of thinking, and I'm not saying that any of these are vegan. I have no idea if they are. I didn't read the labels much at all. I did read one. And there was the only caution was that it had soy. So I'm gonna try some of these stir fry sauces. This one is a Saskatchewan spicy sauce, Kung Pao sauce paste. And then also we have, here we go. And then a orange sauce. I love orange chicken, so this one I'm kind of excited about. And then General Tso sauce, hoisin sauce, and of course, Thai style red curry sauce. I really, really enjoy Asian, Thai, Mexican, like just kind of really ethnic spiced things. But I'm going basic here because I don't know how to cook with this stuff. So kind of what I'm doing, I've done a lot of looking around the last week or so, a lot of watching videos, a lot of trying to figure this out because I'm totally new to this thing. Kind of playing on, I think, her name was Caitlin Shoemaker, I think was her name. And who was the other one? Let me look. So Caitlin Shoemaker and Sarah's Vegan Kitchen as well. I've been watching like Rainbow Plant Life, Simnett Nutrition, Cheap Lazy Vegan. I watched a couple of High Carb Hannah, but not really. And that's the end of my feed, or the end of my history. So I've just been kind of watching them, and they've had some tips on ways that you can process and cook the tofu. So I'm going to avoid the whole pressing and all of that fancy stuff, and I'm going to avoid that by pan frying it. And so that's kind of my plan with this. So I'm going to bring you in close. I'm going to kind of show you what I'm doing. This isn't going to be like a how-to because I have no idea how to do this. I'm going to just show you kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and open this up. From what I've seen, this is filled with water. Just bought this yesterday, so it should be nice and fresh. And I bought the extra firm. It's organic. And I bought the extra firm so that, because I'm trying to avoid having to press it. Like, not that I'll do that forever if I do end up enjoying this, but I just want to give myself the best possible start, because this is supposed to be like a meat substitute kind of thing, and the firmer it is, allegedly, the more similar it is to meat. So I'm going to go dump this off. Oh, this feels so weird. Jiggly. So now I'm going to cut it up. This is so weird. I never thought I would ever try tofu. Sorry for all the shadows. I'm not going to bring out my light for this. I'm just kind of bringing you along for an experiment. So, since we've already established the fact that I don't know what I'm doing, hopefully people will be a little bit nicer to me in the comments if there are any. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cook these. I'm going to brown them up, and I think I'm going to cook like half of it at a time. And I did put some oil in the pan. It's a pretty neutral oil. It is meat-based, but I'm not ready to cook with plant-based oils. So we got all the pieces cooked here, and now I'm ready to actually try these things. Like I said, I've never knowingly consumed tofu, and I have spent 39 years of my life actively trying to avoid it. Well, maybe 35 years, whatever. So, here we go. This one is I think it's the Saskatchewan stir fry. That was a weird texture. It definitely just tastes like the sauce, obviously. I'm trying to figure out, it almost has a texture of like a burnt scrambled egg. Texture, not taste. The best one is definitely the orange chicken. I mean, not that this is a review of sauces, but I had a feeling that this one would definitely help me get it down. So these definitely are not, it's not terrible. It's not the most ideal thing in the world, but I can definitely see how it could be, you know, when properly cooked and processed. It's weird having the chewy, mushy, I can't even think of what the texture is on the inside of this, but definitely pan frying it and getting it crunchy on the outside, I definitely feel helped this one be okay. Well, all of them, not just that one, but just kind of helped the tofu to be kind of okay. So I think this is definitely something that can be done. The reason that I've always avoided this is that the soy, just the estrogen mimicking, all that kind of stuff. I've always tried to avoid it because I personally, through blood work, have discovered that I am very estrogen dominant. So I have always tried to stay away from soy. In the research and the things that I have, not even necessarily research, but just the things that I had been told from a young age, that soy is definitely something to avoid. It was something that my mom had told me. And so I'd always kind of tried to avoid it. And then as growing up, I had discovered why. And then, so I'd always avoided it anyways. Tofu, and specifically, I don't have an issue with like fermented soy. So if you guys have any recipes or just blog posts or anything like that on fermenting tofu, I would really be interested in that. I've tried to do some brief research and trying to figure it out, but I haven't found much. I'd be kind of curious if it was possible to ferment, or what it would do to it in making tofu yourself, to ferment the soy milk before you actually turn it into the tofu. I'm curious about that, or what it happens to it, because there has to be some way that, eons ago they made tofu that did not involve, the chemical additions that they add to it, or the acidic or whatever. I think it's acids of some sort, some specific sort, I believe. But anyways, kind of moving on, I'm going to probably continue to kind of toy with various different the vegan mediums and plant-based meat alternatives and things like that, just to see how my body handles it and processes it. So if you're interested in that, let me know. If you have no interest in it whatsoever, also let me know that. I'd be kind of curious if I should just do this kind of experiment off camera, or if you guys would be interested in it. I'm not doing this because I have any kind of, I'm not ethical or anything like that. That's not a big deal. The only reason that I am thinking about doing this is simply for the cleansing properties of it. I have, like I said, I have a big garden, and I just kind of have the ability to do this at this point in time much more easily than I would at any other time. I'm not interested in raw vegan. I've done that a couple of times in the past, and while my body did handle it not very well, and it was the fruitarian type, not fruitarian, but like 80-10-10 style, so it was very heavy on the plants, or very heavy on the fruit, and light on not a tremendous amount of vegetables. I just couldn't, my body did not process it very well. So I'm kind of toying with the idea of the cooked vegan because it's more easily processed by the body. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to probably finish up this tofu and for some lunch, maybe pour it over some rice or something like that, which I have tried introducing as well in the last couple of days. So just kind of let me know your thoughts. If you guys have anything that you'd like to see in this process, let me know down below, and I will do my best to kind of share it with you, or just not if nobody's interested in it. So let me know down below, and I have lots of gardening videos. Those are going to be coming up all summer long, as well as freezing, canning, dehydrating, fermenting. I like to do a lot of food preservation videos, and coming up for the next few months at least, there'll probably be a lot of vegan kind of plant-based experimentation cooking videos, trying new things for the first time. As part of that, I'm also going to be doing a lot of actually making these items. I'm going to be making some tofu, soy milk, rice milk, what else am I going to be doing? Natto and tempeh, and just all those sorts of more plant-based vegan type protein alternative type things. I would like to be trying them as well as trying to make them. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.